family, right? Together we're stronger. By celebrating the values that make up who we are, that builds a meaningful organization. An organization without values, an organization that doesn't recognize the values of its people is empty. And we are not that. We are full of incredible, incredible victories that deserve celebration. So a big congratulations to all the award winners tonight, and a big thank you for how you work tirelessly to transform people's lives, and in oftentimes uneasy circumstances. And we recognize that it's not been easy to go through the changes that this organization has gone through over the course of the last several years. Name changes, structure changes, all kinds of changes. But change also makes us grow. And that growth is what makes us stronger as well. And for that, as a person with diabetes, I am so grateful. I am so grateful that this organization now has a bigger vision than it did yesterday. And tomorrow, I can't imagine what's going to come next. The new ways that we're going to reach out and care for people and help them through the process of dealing with one of life's most difficult circumstances. And that is when disease meets you and lives with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, we have hope though. And part of the reason why we raise the money that we raise and that we work as hard as we do is both to help advance science and technology so that we can care for people and help them live longer, but ultimately it is to find an end to diabetes. I believe that that can happen. I'm desperate for it, frankly. I know you are too. And the people that we love are desperate as well. So for that reason, if none other, we have to continue to push forward, continue to try harder, to work smarter, to be more creative, and to collaborate on new levels that are bigger than what we thought was ever possible. If we don't try, we'll never know, right? It's been many years since I found myself on a stage trying for something that people said was impossible. And I gave you a little snapshot of my story at the beginning. It was just the first day that I told you about. And there have been a lot of days since then. There have been a lot of victories. There's also been plenty of heartache. For many years in that early time of living with diabetes, years 1 through 5, until I found myself on the Miss America stage, I continuously heard of impossibility, of misfortune, the couldn'ts, shouldn'ts, nevers, those types of. To do everything in your power to uplift those young people and some of the not so young that live with diabetes every opportunity you get. Words are powerful, and we can never underestimate that. You never know when something you're going to say to a person who's living with diabetes is going to strike them to the core. And you want those words to have a beautiful impact instead of a negative one. Now, sometimes negative impacts or negative words, though, can have a reverse effect. And that happened in my case. Although everybody told me that a girl with a disease, a girl that wears a device, would never be chosen, could never win, was not perfect. I mean, for goodness sake, the song at Miss America even has the word perfect in it. But I didn't meet the ideal. I found myself in, at that time, Atlantic City, New Jersey, with 51 other contestants on a stage. In fact, that year it was the very first time that 2 young women with type 1 diabetes were participating. The other person was Miss New York. And when I found myself in the 5, that was an incredible, incredible moment. My goal in being at Miss America was only to be in the 5, because in the top 5, you got to hold the microphone. I kind of like microphones. My goal was to, no matter what I was asked on that stage, I wanted people to know that individuals who live with diabetes could, that they did have possibility or potential, that opportunity could come their way, and that it's unfair for anyone to judge another based on a condition that they have. I wanted to show that diabetes didn't mean that something awful was going to happen, that there was hope. And thank God I got the opportunity to do that. And then when they called my name, I didn't know what to do. I was really more concerned about my pump. We can talk about that later. But here's a really neat part beyond that Saturday night. On Saturday night, I was given this box. And this box was really shiny and beautiful the night they gave it to me. Tonight, it's a little beat up. It's battered, it's got bruises, it's only one hinge works. But today, it's more beautiful than the day I received it, because it's a metaphor for me, for you, that the battle scars that we wear are really a badge of honor. It's taken a lot of courage to live with diabetes for 19 years. It's taken a lot of courage for you to do what you do on a daily basis. Going to work, making the phone calls, asking for money, motivating volunteers, moving through the process. We learn from our stories. That's why we started with the power of the stories that bind us together. Because if we ever forget that, then we've lost our values. Now, what's in this box is also very beautiful. And also, today, it's far more beautiful than it was when I received it. You can tell it is the crown, but I will tell you that what makes this crown so special today is the battle scars. It's the stories. It's the power and the faces that are represented by the memories of what's happened with this through the course of 14 years. I've never worn it. Those of you who know me, you know, now I'm not allowed to wear it, but you can. Just saying. But even during my year, I didn't wear it. Instead, it was on the heads of thousands and thousands of children, moms, dads, connected to diabetes, really. So it's seen its better day, but it holds the promise of the imagination that tomorrow will be better, that a cure is within our reach, that we are moving forward with science, that we are moving forward with technology, with products, with programs that bless people. So a couple of years ago, I had this crown and I was talking to an 8th grade class. Now, that in and of itself is scary. But the 8th grade class was making fun of me because this portion of the crown has been broken for at least 10 years. And my fingers were stuck together that day because I had tried to super glue it. That doesn't work on a crown, just in case you need to know for later. And so one of the kids in the classroom said, "You know what, Miss Nicole, I can fix it." And I said, "Please, I want you to try, of course." And so she worked on it for about an hour, and to you, it looks like it's fixed, doesn't it? Lo and behold, this young person fixed the crown with 2 paper clips. Only a young person would do that, right? But why do I share that with you tonight? Well, it has everything to do with what we've been talking about, with perseverance, not being willing to give up, right? With innovation, paper clips, with collaboration, with thinking in new ways. But here's the most important part. When I asked that young woman why she did that. She said to me, because the challenge isn't bigger than I am. Stories, people, emotions. Whatever the challenge is that you wake up and face when you go into the office, remember that story and that girl. The challenge wasn't bigger than she was. And now when she said that, I must tell you, she knew what challenge was. She didn't have any hands to bend those paper clips to fix that crown. Right? What if we tapped more into those young people and those individuals that we serve to see what else they could teach us about how to be better and how to be stronger? It truly is remarkable. And that heart is the most important part. So, back to the night they gave that to me, though. When I found myself at Miss America, because everybody, I mean everybody, had been saying that I shouldn't do it, and the odds were stacked against me, I decided that I would be a little radical, a little odd, maybe, and that everything I would do would have some kind of diabetes meaning. I bet you didn't know that, because it wasn't explicit. But over the years, lots of people have started to learn about those stories. And so I wore my pump during the competition. My infusion set showed during swimsuit. During evening gown, the pump fell out of my dress. Everything happened that could have happened to reveal diabetes. But there was one choice that most people don't tie back. We had talent that evening, and I chose to sing a song that reflected what the last 5 years had meant to me. The being knocked down and having to decide in the hardest of circumstances to just get up and try. Having to decide to innovate when other people weren't and when it wasn't comfortable. And having to collaborate in a smart way with the non-traditional folks who were not in the pageant circles, meaning my friends at JDRF in my local town, the health providers who helped me be whole in body and in spirit to be able to perform. And so I get the privilege now of closing this evening by singing for you the song that I was able to sing on that Saturday night in September in Atlantic City, that in a very unique way told a little bit of my story. That's life, that's what the people say. Riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune, 'cause I'll be back on top in June. That's a life, funny as it seems. Some people get their kicks stepping on your dreams, but I don't let life get me down, 'cause this whole world just keeps going round. I've been a puppet, a poet, a pirate, a pauper, a pawn, and queen. I've been up and down and over and out, and I know one thing. Each time I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up and I get back in the race. Back in that race. That's life and I can't deny it. I've thought of quitting, but my heart won't let me try it. I don't let life get me down, 'cause this whole world just keeps going round. That's life. Hey, that's There's love. Well, thank you, Kansas City. Well, oh, gee. Well, thank you so much. Now stop, you're going to make me cry. But I do have to tell you that it really, really is because of people like you and the selflessness and the willingness to push forward that people like me have been given incredible opportunities. And I know you don't get thanked enough. And so it is a great privilege and a great honor to stand here and to represent the thousands and thousands and thousands of people with type 1 and say to you, I appreciate you for getting up every day, giving to this organization, and moving the ball forward so that one day our hopes and dreams will become a reality. I want that desperately for my daughter, for my family, for your family, and for the thousands of others that I've met. And I also want you to know that I counted it an incredible privilege to sit on the board of directors and to be able to serve you in this organization in the ways that I am able to. Thank you for what you have done and what you continue to do. Congratulations to those of you who won the Values Awards tonight. Thank you to those who made it possible for this night to happen. And I hope and pray that you leave here inspired and that you have a couple of new ideas to try as you go home to continue to change people's lives. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening.